And it's game day here tonight. Flames home to the Kraken, as I mentioned. The Vegas Golden Knights, if we can bring in their television color commentator, our good and longtime friend Shane Hnidy, they're at Vancouver. Knides, good to see you, my man. I can only assume you were in Vancouver getting ready for the game. Does this have the playoff feel tonight for the Golden Knights?
Oh, certainly, you think of the implication each and every night these points carry for this team. Yeah, it's huge. They've been in mode like this for a while now. They've won 6 of their last 7. Their only blip and kind of hiccup came against the Canucks, an effort the coaching staff, the players weren't happy with. They've seen Vancouver a lot here for whatever reason at the end of the year. This will be their 3rd game, I think, in the last 5 or 6. So huge game, huge points each and every night. I think, they've been winning a lot, but finally got a little bit of help. Big loss by the Kings. The Kings losing a few in a row. So I think for them, they're trying to, whatever way they can, get into playoffs. So maybe that 3rd position in the Pacific is one they're eyeing up.
Knides, I got to pause this for a second. This is going to bring a smile to your face. I did a banquet Saturday night in Assiniboia. Okay. A guy came up to me, a cowboy, and he goes, "You don't remember me, do you?" And I said, "Nope." He goes, "I'm Jay Fitzpatrick's little brother. And you brought me onto the bus to ride with the team from the rink in Moose Jaw over to the restaurant. I'll never forget it. And we talked about you, Knides." And he goes, "We never thought that he'd make it to the NHL." I said, "Neither did I." 550 games later, a Stanley Cup ring. Knides, how did you do it? Let's be honest, man. You weren't a high draft pick or anything like that. Was the secret to your longevity and a championship in the NHL?
Well, I'll get to that in a second, but it's funny you bring up running into somebody. In the last 2 months, I've ran into Shane Zliniak, Caleb Toth, and Van Drunen called me. He was in, so 3 guys I hadn't heard from or seen in 20 years. So pretty interesting when I go back to that PA Raider team. You know what? It's a really good question because I think, and it's like anything when I talk to kids now, it starts with a belief in yourself. And you've got to build a certain belief, and you got to have everything behind. And I think work ethic was probably one of my things. And then realizing what it's going to take to get there, understanding a role that you got to position yourself in to be successful. So the belief factor really didn't happen for me maybe until it was after my junior career. And I've told the story. I was drafted Buffalo, nothing happened. I went to Chicago Blackhawks camp after my 20-year-old year. I came home. I was talking about going to either Acadia or University of Alberta, and a guy named Pierre McGuire called me to come play with a new team in Baton Rouge in the East Coast League. He was the head coach then. And I flew down there, and for whatever reason, it just renewed my confidence. I was at the lowest of lows, thought I was going the wrong way, played well. I remember in the preseason, I fought a guy named Kevin Evans, who was he's kind of like the Oglethorpe of the East Coast League, the all-time penalty minute leader. And I was 20, and I beat him in the first fight, so I had to fight him again. And all of a sudden, just confidence came. Pierre McGuire loved me. And I'll never forget, I had a great start to the year, and he's the first guy said, and for me, it meant a lot. This was a guy at that point in my career, he'd coached in Pittsburgh. He'd been part of a cup team as a NHL coach. And he pulled me aside, and I'll never forget this by the bus. He says, "Kid, you can make it." He says, "I'm telling you, you can make a lot of money in this game one day." I don't know about a lot, but anyways, he said you could make it. And it was the first time I'd heard anybody kind of reestablish what I always believed, but to hear that reinforced. And then, I went up to St. John. Certainly there was a ton of obstacles along the way, but it's about a belief, putting in the work, and then really understanding. I knew, when Ottawa traded for my rights, I was part of Detroit in their minor league, that Ottawa didn't have that physical presence. I think at that time, Lance Pitlick in the 99-2000 season, he left, and they didn't have a defenseman that could come in and play that style. And, I understood that needed to be my role, needed to be, reliable defensively, somebody who could still move the puck, but be physical. And that became my role. I established it in Ottawa, and thankful enough with that. I had a lot of great leaders, so I learned how to lead, how to be a good teammate, and what it took to win. So, a lot of those things combined, but certainly you've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to have the mental toughness. If you're not a high draft pick, to fight through a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles that come along the way.
Well, that's why I want you to take as much time as you need to tell that story, because it's a fantastic one, and a couple things on that. My dad loved Pierre Maguire. He takes so much flack, and I don't know why. My dad thought he was the greatest guy. Zinger, I'm guessing, was calling you for tickets. Let's just leave it there. And with Baton Rouge, I see you had 3 goals and 10 assists in 21 games, so you had a little offense there too. So anyways, Nides, I remember seeing you in the press box, or the media room in the Bell Center of Montreal, the best hot dogs in the NHL. And I think you were hurt that night. You weren't playing, but it was so nice to see you. Anyways, thanks for the story. Yeah. And back on point, just take me through this season for the Golden Knights and how frustrating it must have been. Are we putting it all on injuries? Is that the mantra?
I think every team has injuries, but at some point, it's a reality. And the reality is they just got Pacioretty, who's missed 43 games this year. Mark Stone is a game-time decision for tonight. He's missed 45 games. So, just those 2 guys alone, let's not, Carlson's missed 6 weeks. McNabb's missed 6 weeks. Martinez, arguably their best all-around defenseman last year, missed 4.5 months. Zach Whitecloud's been out. Nick Hague, who's a young defender. You can go through their bottom 6 guys, Carrier, Howden, Nolan Patrick, the poor kid just can't, get healthy in his career. Thought this could be a resurgence. So, you go up and down. But let's just start with Pacioretty and Stone. So you go around any team and you take their top goal scorer and their top point guy from the previous season and take them out for 40-plus games and let me know how they survive. You go around. You take your pick. You want to take McDavid, Draisaitl? Do you want to go to the Jets and take, Connor and Scheifele out for that length? Do you want to, you can go Calgary, take out Gaudreau and Lindholm. Colorado, McKinnon, Rantanen. You take that out, it's a massive hit. So I think the fact that they're in the hunt here, it'd still be disappointing if they don't make playoffs. No question. This is a deep team, and they've got to find a way. They missed their number 1 goalie for a long time in Robin Lehner. Logan Thompson basically became a kid that talk about a guy that played for the Wheat Kings that's come out of nowhere. Brock University a few years ago wins AHL Goalie of the Year, and now he kind of came in at a point that they needed to win games, and he's the guy that was able to do it with both Brossoit and Lehner hurt. So there's been some real good stories to it. They fought through some adversity, and I think it's the type of team, if they can get in, they could be dangerous because they've been in playoff mode for a long time. They scratched, they clawed. And they're already set where other teams kind of have to, you every other year with the Golden Knights, they just get in. The last few games, it's about gearing up for playoffs. So they're already geared up. They're ready to go. They just got to get there.
Hey, we're absolutely. Hey, we're out of time, but I need to take a minute on this. What is your assessment of Jack Eichel since he laced him up for the first time?
Just constantly improving. I'll tell you what, Rod, and anybody, I've realized this a long time, you really get a privilege and an appreciation for a player when you watch him day in, day out, and the things he does are special. His stride, I didn't know he was that fast, that powerful. It's a different looking fast than, say, a McKinnon or a McDavid, but it's just as efficient, and it's powerful. He's got like a toe flick off his stride. He has gone, his reach, his ability to hang on to the puck. And this is a guy who's missed, last year, but 2 years of hockey, the way the world's worked. So he's come on 6 goals in his last 7 games. You're really starting to see how elite he is. And he hasn't really played, he's kind of found a little chemistry with Dodonov, who was traded, but ended up not being. So it's kind of a good thing. And his minutes, they weren't able to ease him in. So now he's getting some more insulation around, and I think that's helped his game elevate as he's gotten more and more comfortable and more up to being Jack Eichel of old after missing so much time. He is a special, special player.
Thanks for the update, Nides, and thanks for the time. Love your work. Keep it up, man. Good luck getting into the playoffs.
Always good to see you, Roddy. All right, thanks, man. Take care.
Thanks, pal. Golden Knights TV analyst Shane Hnidy. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.